Hello everyone. So in the last class we have discussed about hardware and software and we have done so many input devices. Now we are having the processing device which is the CPU. So let's start. Computer is only one processing device, as we all know. Only the CPU is the processing device of the computer and one and only one. Okay. It processes the given output, given input and controls the overall function. So whatever input, whatever data or instructions you will give it to the computer, that it will process it and gives you the final results also. It does all the calculation and the comparison work and finally displays it on the monitor. So in your instructions or in your data, if there is any calculation and comparison work also, that is again done by the CPU, and after the calculation it will shows you the result on the monitor. It stores the data and the information before processing the data or after displaying on before displaying it on the monitor. So we have to save the data also, store the data also for some period of time in the computer. So that will also managed or done by the CPU. Okay, so this is all the functioning of the CPU. Basically, from the starting of the computer to the shutdown, every work will be managed by the CPU. How the things will work or how your data and instructions give that you will give it to the computer, it will work. That completely depend on the CPU. So we are having the various parts of the CPU. CPU, whatever work CPU is doing, that are divided in the three parts. First one is the memory unit. As the name suggests you, memory unit. So it will does the work of storing and storing the instructions which can be recalled in time. Memory unit will do the work of storing of data so that whenever you need it, you can recall it or you can open it again whenever you want. Second is control unit. As the name is telling you, control unit. Whatever work will be assigned, how to control it, how to control the flow of the data, which work has to be done first and which work has to be done later on and in the last. So that will be managed by the control unit. It controls and manages the functioning of overall parts of the computers also. Whatever parts are attached to the computers, like we are having we are having the CPU and whatever devices we are attaching with the CPU, like keyboard, mouse, printer, monitor, scanner, webcam, or any other device. So that is the task of the control unit, how to control all the devices and how to control the work also. Next is arithmetic and logic unit. We can also call it as ALU. The name of it is ALU, arithmetic and logic unit. As the name is telling you, arithmetic means it will does the various calculation, arithmetic calculations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and the logical operations like greater than, smaller, comparison work, greater, less, equal to, not equal to, these kind of work also managed by the ALU. So CPU is further divided in three parts and overall it is responsible for the functioning of the computer. Okay, so this is about the processing device. Next we are having output devices. So as we have discussed what is output devices in the last class also, output, the devices which are used to put something outside the computer, that are known as output. So first and the most common output device is monitor. As you can see here, it looks like a TV. Most essential output device because it is the most commonly used output device. Display all the work done and the output on the screen. Whatever work you will give to the computer, it will show you and it will display on the screen. Output display is also known as soft copy. Inside the computer, everything is in the form of soft copy, and when you just do the printout, take the printouts, and when your things or your matter is in the form of paper, that is the hard copy. We have discussed in the last class also. So this is about monitor. Now we will discuss various types of monitor. So the first one is the CRT. As you can see here, cathode ray tube. It looks like so older TV also. Have maybe you have seen that. It is the oldest type. consumes more electricity. That's why it is not so common nowadays. Less expensive, produces sharp images also. Okay, but it is not common nowadays. You can see nowadays we need a device which is takes less space, is of less, you can say, weight. Okay, and performs, the quality is more, and you can say electricity bill also consumes less electricity also. So this is the rarest for nowadays. We are not using it because it is the oldest type. So the next one is we are having LCD, liquid crystal display. This is lighting weight, consumes less power than CRT, occupy less space, and produces sharp images. Now see light in weight, as you can see it. Okay, easy to carry or portable. Consumes less power again, so better to use it. Occupy less space, obviously light in weight है, so it will take less space, and again produce sharp images. These LCD types of monitors we are using in our labs or in offices. Okay, and then the next one is we are having LED. These LEDs that we are having in our home, light emitting diode. Okay, light in weight and consumes less power. That is the main benefit of these LEDs which are we are having at our home. Latest among the three types and in demand because of their high quality picture display. Okay, आपने देखा होगा, लाइक वी आर हैविंग टीवी इन आवर होम्स. अब आप टीवी को रूम के किसी भी कॉर्नर से देखो, picture quality will always remain same. Okay, there is no distortion or there is no changing in the color. So that is the quality of the picture. But if you talk about the laptop or the monitor that we are using in offices, but when you look it on the monitor from a particular angle, its quality changes, its color changes, you can say. So that is the dependence, like these are depending upon these, we are having three types of monitor: LCD, LED, and CRT. Okay, so next is we are having output devices. Second output device we are having is printer. Printer is used to take the print, or you can say the hard copy output. Output is called as hard copy, and it prints the information on a sheet of paper. Whatever we are having in the computer, when we want it in a form of paper outside, that's why it is output device. So that for that work we are having the printer. There is again various types of printers also. First one is the dot matrix one. It prints text and graphics by striking on the paper, as you have seen the typewriter also. Okay, so it works like that. There is a hammer, and that will strike on the paper again and again, and letters, numbers, or everything get printed on the paper. Everything get printed in the form of dots, and only black and white output is possible. So these kinds of printers we are not using in our schools, offices, or homes, but in banks it is using. You can see the passbook, and when you look at uh, carefully, then you will note that every character, every number, or everything is just the combination of dots. You can take the example of calculator also. All the digits 0 to 9 are in the form of dots. Okay, so that is the dot matrix printer, and only black and white output is possible. There is no colored output is possible in dot matrix printer. That's why it is cheaper also, and it is slow also, because every time there is a hammer striking on the paper to get the letters or printed. So that's why it is very slow also. Next we are having inkjet printer. Inkjet printer, its working is prints by spraying small or drops of ink on the paper. When we just give the command of printing, ink will get spread on the paper and everything gets printed on the paper. It is faster than dot matrix, and colored output is also possible. So obviously it is more costlier than the dot matrix printer. Main difference is the working of the printer, how internally it will work. So depending upon the working of the various devices, we are having so many kind of devices. Inkjet is ink will get spread on the paper, and the everything get printed on that. Next we are having laser printer, the most commonly and the most you can say the very fast one, very cheapest one, and very common nowadays, mostly used, widely used, that is the laser printer. As the name is telling you, laser printer, that means laser beam is used in it to print on the paper. Latest one, very fast, black and white as well as colored also possible. So that are the features of laser printer. That's why we are using it nowadays, and it is very common nowadays. Okay, so these are the various types of printer. Next output device we are having plotter. As printer is only used to take the printouts on a particular size, like A4 sheet we are having, A3 sheet we are having. But what about when I want to display something on a, I want to display a advertisement? What about the banners or the posters or the advertisement? So what is the printing device used for that? The printing device is plotter. It prints vector graphics, can print on very large sheet with resolution. Resolution means when you increase the size, the clarity of the picture will be same, will not change. Used for creating high quality designs, graphics, charts and diagrams. Can print on paper, cardboard, aluminium and plastic, and used for printing designs of building, houses, ships, posters. Okay, so obviously you have seen so many advertisement banners, posters, okay, hanging here there on the walls, or you can say on the roads also. So that is done by the plotter. You can print on a paper, cardboard, aluminium and plastic, and it is used for printing designs of buildings also, various जो आपके मैप्स भी आते हैं बड़े बड़े से, या फिर कुछ भी जो कि आपका एक पर्टिकुलर साइज से बड़ा है, दैट इज प्लोटर इज यूज फॉर दैट. And it is vector graphics, that this is the internal functioning, you can say. Vector graphic means its quality will never change when you increase the size of the picture. You can make it as large as you want and you can make it as small as you want. That is the feature of this vector graphics. Next output device, you all know we are having projector. When I want to display something on a big screen, because monitor is limited in size, 18 inch, 24 inch, 38 inch, like these we are having in our homes. But when I want to display something on a big wall, okay, then I need a projector. It displays the output on a huge screen, whiteboard or a wall, reflects a magnified image, used in classroom teaching, video conferencing and movie theaters. So basically projector is used when we want to display something on a big screen. There is seminar है कोई, या फिर I want to explain something to the thousands of audience. Okay, so for that I will need a big screen. In various big auditoriums also, you can say the cinema halls, you can say we are having projectors. It is again an output device. Okay, so this is about the various output devices. In the next class we will discuss the various parts of the softwares also. So thank you and have a nice day.